day before today, 11 years ago, I was making arrangements for the blood man ritual I was going to do. I thought I was going to let any person of my choice killed. We were not in good books with my relatives, so I was not afraid. There was a lot of people to let die without worries. My wife woke up early and cooked my food. She prepared my bathing water. We didn't know it was last time to see each other. Instead, I did this ritual so that we have a class life with my wife. She accompanied me to the bus stop. Since I have lied, I was going to sign a business deal. My wife was very happy. When I arrived at the shrine, the Sangoma. Yellow viewers, welcome once again to another educative episode of African Confessions HD, right here on Extraordinary Africa. My name is Solution Uncle. If it's to new, in this show we publish lifetime confessions. Usually we publish anonymously for their own safety reasons. Listeners, if you have a story you feel you want to share with the world, feel free. Here is the free and fair platform for you. If you want us to hide your identity, we will do so. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Share your worries. Don't commit suicide. If you want to share a story with us, our number is +263 775 597 775 +263 775 597 775. Or you can contact our PR Fidel at his Gmail account, fidelgoch@gmail.com, FIDELGOCH@gmail.com. That's our contacts. It's WhatsApp only when you want to send via the number. Viewers, I don't want to continue waste much of your time. Let's go straight into the confession. Hello, Solution Uncle. I am a man in my late 40s. 11 years ago on this month, I killed my wife in a man-making ritual. Soon after the ritual, the spirit of my wife started rising against me. I went back to the Sangoma. The Sangoma told me she belonged to a royal family, but we didn't know it before the ritual. Another ritual was supposed to be done to silence the spirit of my late wife. Back to my story. When I was born, I was the only child of my father. I grew up in poverty. My parents were suffering, started working in the local farms until I managed to buy a cell phone. During those days, it was the time where social media was starting coming to this part of the world. I started using social media. So I met this lady over the phone. She was finishing her studies in a university. We started as friends, talking each and every day. We became addicted to each other, very close. I couldn't go anywhere without telling her. I couldn't do anything without telling her. If I was not feeling well, I couldn't. If she wasn't feeling well, she couldn't. If she was going somewhere, she can tell me. So we became so close. But I blame myself for lying during those first days. I said I have finished tertiary education and I was waiting to get a job. I lied to her during first days that I have a degree in marketing, but I was just waiting to get a job and I was still searching. I lied it wasn't working. So she finished her education. I was working in the farms and I managed to raise a lot of money. I was saving the money, struggling and saving the money. My mom was always keeping it for me. After she finished tertiary education, we went to her family and paid the bride price. They accepted me as their son-in-law and they didn't know how I was. The father is a strict one. He said, if my daughter is suffering, I will take her back. I was now afraid. When my wife arrived, I thought it was best to go and do a ritual so that I can have at least money to take care of her, because she was from a very rich background. They were expecting a lot from her. The father paid a lot of school fees, tertiary education for their child, and they were expecting much from that lady. So We stayed together for almost 2 months. After she came to my house, everything has changed. It wasn't the same from when we were boyfriend, girlfriend to when we were husband and wife. She wasn't happy because we were struggling, and I was afraid she might change her mind. I loved her so much. I have never loved any lady like that, even my mother. I don't want to lie, I love her more than what I did to my mother. I went to this friend of mine. He was having businesses, riches, that wealth. But we studied together. We failed at school. I knew it. I knew his background. And it was even shocking everyone in the society. How is he managing to do it? But when he started to be rich, he don't wanted to give any of his friends a single rand. Instead, he was going to buy something you want, then you take the thing, not giving you money directly. He wasn't doing that. So he directed me to this Sangoma. We were very close. There was no need for him to hide to me. We went to the Sangoma. The Sangoma said it's strictly human blood. I wasn't in good books with my cousin brothers and my aunties. They always have that favoritism. They don't love me, and we have been not in good books. They took away some of my father's property when he died. They took away some of my father's belongings and left me with nothing. So I hate them, and I was ready to do that money making ritual. I went back home and I lied to my wife that I was in line to sign a very big deal with an Asian firm. We were happy over the night. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't worried, since I was going to sacrifice people I am not in good books with. My wife didn't have any suspicions of what was going to happen. The next morning, she prepared everything for me. She cooked my food and I went bathed. I finished preparing and she accompanied me to the bus stop. She was very happy. You could see on her face. I went to the shrine with my friend. My friend left me at the gate. I entered into the compound and into the shrine. As soon as I arrived at the shrine, the Sangoma started scolding me and said, "You are late. Why are you late? You no longer have that power to sacrifice the person you want. I'm the one who is going to choose for you." And it was unreversible, or else I was going to die. So when I was at the Sangoma, I spent a night. Sangoma was ululating, playing drums and everything. The next day was the day to sacrifice. That was on the 29th of January, 11 years ago. I was to kill any person without fear. So the Sangoma took a mirror. When he took a mirror, my wife appeared on the mirror and said, "I want you to kill this one because this is the person you love the most, or else I'm going to kill you right now, right here, or I'll make you mad." I was shocked by the move. A spirit came on me and I hit my wife. As soon as I finished hitting, the spirit left me. I was now feeling guilty. I have killed the one and only person who loved me in this earth. I went back home and I discovered a lot of money in my house. The next day, my wife started saying, "I'm feeling headache. We rushed her to the hospital and she died on our way to the hospital. I don't know if she has not yet seen the money. I told her relatives that she is normal. They came at the funeral. After funeral, I started having a lot of money. I was supposed to start a business, then start to use the money I get from the business. But a mistake I made was The person I sacrificed saw the money. That was the very big mistake I made. I went to the Sangoma. The Sangoma told me the person we killed is of a very special tribe and we're not supposed to do that. To worsen the situation, the person we sacrificed saw the money. So you must be in trouble. To be not in that trouble, you have to sacrifice any of your relatives. Each and every January, you have to sacrifice any of your relatives. So, over the past 11 years, I've been sacrificing my relatives. A lot of people have died in my family because of me. I should do this ritual every January. But this January is coming to an end. I have not yet sacrificed. There is this family with prayerful people. They always go to church. I am feeling to kill them. And everything is going to be exposed at the end. I am well known in the country. I am now afraid. In my situation, I think it's best I should commit suicide. The next confessions are strictly for the people above the age of 18. All viewers below the age are advised not to watch or listen. We were classmates since level 1. He and his friend rented a place close to the campus, and one day after we studied on campus, he took me there. Not I was non-resident at that time. We have graduated recently, and on the graduation day, I lied to my family that my other classmates were organizing a party, so they left me and I spent the day with him at his place. His friend was working and was always out, so we have the place to ourselves a lot. Weekends too, he went to be with his family, so sometimes I come over on weekends. We had sex on the graduation day and promised to still love each other no matter what. But after that day, I wasn't hearing from him. So 2 days passed and still I call but no reply. He blue-ticked my WhatsApp, but he is online posting statuses. When I went to his side, I heard their rent was due and they moved out that same graduation day. I kept calling until he answered me and he said he is done with school and me and he has forgotten me, so I should also move on. My mom thinks I'm sick cause I have lost my appetite. This is not a guy I quarreled with or did something to cause this. We are also in Accra and have made plans, so I don't understand. I will lie to my mom that I'm studying throughout the night and I will be in his room. I was there for him, did so much for him. Please advise me. I want to get over him, but I can't. He has blocked me. I will type messages on WhatsApp begging him, and then I will delete it later cause it seems he blocked me there too. I am really not myself. Please keep me anonymous. This is a confession I'm making, not mainly for advice, please, but you can advise me if you want. I am a female. My male best, and I attend the same church since childhood. I was the she type, so I never really have friends, but he is everyone's favorite person. Our church had a revival last year, and that's when we became friends. I've been admiring him for long because he's funny, caring, he's always available for me. He makes me smile and laugh all the time. Also, he has a six-pack, and there's these vain hands with kinder turns on me. I quite remember one time we were texting and I asked him who I am to him, and he said I am his best. So I was happy. At long last, I had a close friend from church. We text each other every day, and I visit him at least twice a week, even though we didn't meet at church on Sunday. I visit him because my parents are busy type and I am super lonely. He is the first guy I visited in my life. It got to a time whenever I visit him, he tickles me for hours and I'm very sensitive So I burst into laughter all the time. This year I told him I am not visiting him again, but yesterday I called him on a video call and we talked for maybe 10 minutes and he was like I should come over to his place, and I got dressed and went. During the video call I noticed the veins on his hands has become more than the normal, but I didn't mind. So I walked, since it's a 5 minutes walk distance. I got there and we chatted for some few minutes and he started tickling me for hours, which made me laugh for long. Then he started touching my neck, which I told him to stop. This guy got on top of me and started biting my lips and touching my neck. I refused to tell him my reasons, but he did everything, and finally I told him that's where my feelings are. Then he started kissing my neck and giving me icons on my neck. I tried to control myself, but I think he has tried all those stuff with his ex-girlfriends because he is an expert. So he continued and couldn't control myself anymore. So I started mourning. Then he kissed me on the lips passionately. That was actually my first kiss. Then went back to the kisses on the neck and still couldn't resist because it was awesome. He is really good at it. I told him to stop and he kept on doing it. I couldn't believe I was doing this with my best friend. I thought it was different from other guys. Then all of a sudden he told me he didn't have any bad intentions, so I should relax. When I started at his face, he kinda had his serious looks on his face, and which got me surprised because for all these years I've known him, he's never had that serious look on his face. I kinda got shy and angry because I told him not to touch my neck and he disobeyed. He apologized and said it was a mistake. I couldn't look him in the face again, but he has his way of making me happy. So I didn't leave his house angry. I told him I would never text him again, but I replied his messages. I'm kinda attached to him too much. I blame myself for visiting him.